Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today we're going to try to fix this toy here. So this is a Clanger. I believe this is Mother Clanger. Now the Clangers was a program from the early 70s, possibly late 60s in the UK, and like many things from that era, it's been remade again in 2015 so the next generation of kids can enjoy it. Now this one here is one from 2015 onwards, so it's a new one. Yeah, it says there 2015. And the problem with it is, apparently, I haven't even put batteries in it yet, but there's a little clicky button here. It doesn't make sounds. So the Clangers make a kind of like whistling sound. If you've ever seen those lollipops where you blow into and you pull the handle in and out at the ends, then it kind of goes woo, woo, like that. It's one of those things there. So it was a stop motion thing, which is quite good, and when it was remade, apparently it's still stop motion, so that's quite nice. So it hasn't been done on the computer, it's still stop motion, harking back to the original one. So I don't know whether it was popular second time round or not. It's a kind of easy thing to do, isn't it? Because parents, slightly older parents that have younger kids, would remember it from when they were young, and then they want to watch it, and then they want to watch it with their kids to get them into it. So there's loads of them, like the Sooty Show's done really good second time round, and what I particularly like is I was really into Wurzel Gummidge, and they released a couple of episodes at Christmas. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 episodes they released, but I really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping they will make that series go on. One thing I'm still waiting for is Catweasel. How has nobody reinvented Catweasel? I mean, I loved Catweasel, so I'm hoping that will come out. And if I ever make my millions on YouTube, I want to buy up the rights to Mr. Blobby. Mr. Blobby, come on, I showed my kids that and they absolutely loved it. Of course it's irritating for adults to watch, but kids love it because he just gets everything wrong, a bit like myself. So I only paid £5 for it. It was up for £2.75 or best offer. It was already very cheap. It's £3 postage. I didn't really want to take the mick, but I just wanted to round it up to £5. So I put an offer in at £2 and it was accepted. As you see there, accepted the offer of £2. So it just says here, Clanger large musical toy not working, brought as new, never made noise, hence price, condition is used. Now it says used, but this thing is absolutely immaculate. It looks completely brand new. I think this has been put on the wrong way because it's got the fastener up the front here, but we'll worry about that at the end. So yeah, it looks like it's just got a simple voice box type thing and a battery thing in the back here. So if it's never worked from new, that's quite interesting. Is it going to be a faulty switch? Is it going to be a faulty connection like a wire, or is there going to be something faulty on the motherboard? I really hope we can get it working. So let's get some batteries in this and see what it does. Alright, so it says off, on, try me. So let's go to on. Right, nothing's happening when I press the little, I can feel a little clicky button in here. It's definitely clicking. Let's go to try me. Right, I can see a little something on the switch there, can you see? Let me just see if that comes off. No, that's like a little bit of burning. Right, let's just check the voltage of these batteries, make sure they're okay. There you go, 4.3. So batteries are a little bit low. Do you know what? I'm near enough out of AA batteries. Let me just measure these quickly. That's okay. That's low. That's okay. I'm just going to swap this one out. Right, so it's definitely not making any noises. So let's see if we can take this apart further. So it looks like it's hooked round there. Really, I want to get this battery thing out, you see. So I wonder, is the cable, I wonder what the cable tie is doing. Is the cable, do you know what? I bet you the cable tie is wrapped around the whole thing, and that's what brings it together. I bet it's been, I bet, yeah, there you go, there's a little kind of hem, isn't there? And this cable tie is going to go around the whole thing. So I'm going to have to cut the cable tie, and that should release the fabric from it. I'm hoping I'll be able to get the cable tie back on again. Well, not this one, obviously a new one. So I'm just going to cut the cable tie without cutting the fabric. Here we go. Yeah, so the cable tie is there now. Excellent, so that's given me access. I'm going to leave this in at the moment just in case I need to sellotape on the new one to pull through, but it should just... You know, I don't need to worry about that, that's going to go through there fine. Oh, so look, it is the whole body here. It's a big... Oh, it's actually sort of forming part of the structure. There's plastic going down here and everything. Ah, look, it's been... Look at that. It's been... Oh, this has got cogs inside. It's supposed to move. It's not just sounds. This is supposed to move as well. Ah. Oh, that's had a nice breakage there, hasn't it? This has been like trodden on. Right, so how am I going to... So it's going all the way up to here. I wonder, do I have to unstitch it? Oh yeah, so it's going to do some wobbling. Oh, this is much more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a sounds thing. Can't feel any wire going into the arm though. Imagine that if they just forgot to put the wire in. Right, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to take this apart. Yes, come on. Excellent. I don't know if it's going to go back in or not. Here we go. Right, and then those poles there go down to the legs. That's all broken there. Let's pull out. Should we try and pull this? Let's pull this out completely. Or is it so it's stitched in? We might not need to worry about the switch. Right, let's undo all the screws and let's see what awaits inside it. Right, here we go. Excellent, we've got it out. Oh, okay. Can you see a broken wire there? On the white wire from the switch. So, hopefully, we might be able to get this working again. What's all this about here? So we've got a white wire. I wonder where that goes to. It's obviously this board down here somewhere. And we've got the speaker up here. That looks like the speaker from the Simon Says game. Right, so the legs don't do anything, do they? The legs don't actually move. No, the legs are just for standing on. So what happens? It looks like the head must move. This thing must move up and down, maybe. That goes in there like that. So that isn't actually broken. That's just come out of that little hole there. So this should be repairable if I was just to glue this down here. Just need to work out where on this board that this thing goes. Right, I can't see anything that's obvious. Now, often you can sort of see where a wire's half hanging out. I can't see anything, but there are some, because the problem is loads of things are soldered, because we have like a couple of capacitors and a transistor on this side here. But what I can see is, I can see one of the solder joints don't look great, which is this one here. But what I'm thinking about doing is just try to see where the wires go. So we've got a black wire coming from the battery down here, which I presume is going to be the negative. And then we have a red wire from the battery going into the switch here, because remember it does two things. It's a try-me switch and also an on switch. So we have one pink wire coming up to here, and then we have one red wire coming up to here. So what I'm thinking is that it's probably going to be on the red wire, and that is as well where I can see a slight bit of the solder doesn't look great, so I do think it's come off that one. Let me zoom right in to show you. So if you have a look here, this is the red wire coming up, and can you see that solder joint there does look like, there was something connected to it. Yeah, all the others look perfectly clean. So I'm thinking it's this one here, and then what that will do is that will join up. So the switch is going from here to here, so it will join up this rail here with this one, and that goes into the chip. So I think it's going to be that one there. I mean, I could get my pliers and just short it out, but let's solder the wire onto there, and we'll see if the switch is working at the same time. If it's not, then I'll start looking at something else. Right, there we go, that's back in its place now. So let's pop some batteries in and see if it does anything. Right, so we're still on. Let's see if it's going to work. There we go. Excellent. Right, let's save the rest of the surprise to the very end. Right, so that was it. It was just a bad connection there, but remember we have got a break here. So what I need to do is I need to glue this together. So I'm going to use some, I think I'm going to use some super glue initially, and then I'm just going to put a hot glue gun everywhere because I need to glue in this circuit board back in there anyway. So that's what we'll do. I'm just going to give it a spray with some of this. There we go. Now that's worked. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a hot glue gun all over this as well to give it a little bit of extra strength, and hopefully when it's all together it should stay in one piece. This thing back together now. I'm just going to see what it does now with this thing now that it's closed up.
No, look, it's too much. There's too much strength there. Look at that. It's pushing this out. I think even when I screw that in, that's still gonna that's still not gonna work properly. So we have to work out now what's happening. Oh, sorry, it goes this way round, and this red thing does have to be screwed into there, you see. That's what it is. That's where it gets its strength from. Or maybe not screwed in, but look, it goes through the hole there. That's it there. It goes that way round. There we go. Right, now let's see if it does it. There we go. Excellent. Right, let's screw everything back together. Right, there's a screw broken down here as well, so I'm going to put some hot glue gun in this area as well. Well, actually, do you know what would be a better job? To use a cable tie. And I'll put this bit on the inside so it can't be felt. Actually, I'll put it around the back, be better. Right, so there we have it, back together, screwed back together, top bit's been glued, and right, so I presume this foam is that to keep dust out and maybe to stop, the fingers can't get in there anyway, can they? I'm just going to put a little bit of glue gun just across the top here. I wonder why they've put foam there. Is that purely for dust, or is that to stop fingers going in? Do you know what? I am going to put a little bit of felt over there, just in case it was ever to be, for example, a little finger getting trapped in there or something. But I think it is just dust because there's so much padding up here. I can't see it being that. Right, there we go, you've got foam on both bits now. So now I have to try and get this back in, which is probably not going to be easy because before this was broken, and now, well, mind you, it was still in its post, wasn't it? The reason it was crooked before is I thought it had snapped, but it's not. That's the actual bit that wobbles. So I've got to try to get this back in. This is going to take quite some time. It's so hard to get this bit in. There we go. It's in, sticking out of her head though. Hold on. Right, I'll put a little bit of stuffing above it now, but it is at the top of the bow there. So let's just, I just want to get this stuff in, pushed back round to where it should be everywhere else. Oh, I've managed to get hot glue gun all over the nose. There you go, hopefully that will dry okay. Now let's get this cable tie back round here. So we're going to feed it through. Excellent. Right, I'm just going to do it up very loosely to begin with, and we can tighten it up when it's around here. Right, here goes. Excellent. Cut that nice and flat so it doesn't cut anybody. Here we go. Right, so that is it back to normal, because that's how it was before. Let's put the lid back on. Put it on, and now let's close her up. Just going to get the hairdryer just to dry off the nose. The nose is nice and clean again, and no more signs of glue gun. Now let's pop this thing on, put it the right way around. Now I can see here that there's a heart on the top here, so before it was upside down, this is the correct way to have it. That's more like it. Right, let's change the camera angle and finish up the video.
So here she is, Mother Clanger, in all her finery. Now the song plays for 40 seconds, so it does go on for quite a long time. But you can see the head wobbling there. So what was the fix like? Well, it was just a broken wire, but still it was a fix. So definitely not the most interesting of fixes. But what was quite interesting for me is that I thought it was just an audio thing. So when I seen the gears, then it adds a bit more interest, because you need to sort of work out, well, why and how is the head wobbling. As it turns out, it was just that red lever looking thing coming out the side, and when you clamp the lever, then it can no longer move, so it has to move the body that it's attached to. So yeah, nice little fix, and it wasn't working before as intended, and now it is working as intended, which is always nice. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more videos. Take care, bye now.